Warm welcome to this opening ceremony, really celebrating the movement for Immunization Agenda 2030. Let's just need to complete the slide. You know that on the 28th of April, 2021, we asked you this question: what is the future of immunization? And there is a saying now, I think pretty much every culture, every country says this is a saying of their country or their culture, and that is, if you want to walk far, walk together. And so something happened on the 7th of March 2022 when over 6,000 health professionals from 110 countries committed to contribute to a global movement for Immunization Agenda 2030. We launched a call calling TGLF's platform members, immunization professionals, who are today 45,641 in number, to connect not only with us, but to connect with each other. And this is a global movement which we need everyone, and we're only one of the many organizations making a contribution. This was following the unanimous adoption by countries at the World Health Assembly of Immunization Agenda, supported by partner organizations. This was called for by the Director General of WHO, who called for a broad social movement for immunization that will ensure immunization remains high on the global and regional health agendas. And our starting point was that as health professionals, your commitment can make a difference for children and their families in your country and in every country. And we said, here is why you matter. We know that people working at different levels of the health system, including the most local levels, are the key to leading change. And so we launched what we call at the Geneva Learning Foundation, the first full learning cycle, challenging you to stay the course during 16 weeks of continuous, intensive, shared learning and collaboration, going from knowledge acquisition, which is necessary to get the best available global knowledge from the best available experts. But that is no longer sufficient to take it forward, to go to action planning, to implementation, to improvement. And we asked you, do you face any of these challenges? Children who are unvaccinated, epidemic outbreaks, lack of confidence in vaccines, marginalized communities, gender barriers, and 8,377 of you not only said, yes, we face these challenges, but we're ready to make a commitment to the movement. And this is where I turn to Charlotte to read the pledge that each and every member of the movement has made, each and every scholar, as we call participants in our programs, has made.
I am committed to work for a world where everyone, everywhere, fully benefits from vaccines to improve health and well-being. As a scholar, I hereby solemnly pledge to work with others to transform projects led by scholars into action and results that will improve immunization outcome. To share my success as well as my challenges by reporting on a regular basis on my progress towards implementation. Support fellow scholars in doing the same while upholding the highest standard of integrity and behavior. I make this pledge for the health of children and families in my country and everywhere. Thank you.
So after 16 weeks, today is the day when we complete the first full learning cycle. Let's go take a look at some of the comments inside the Hop-In conference platform. So I'm just going to show a few. Here we have Pam Yakubu from Plateau State, Nigeria, Adebake Oguntona. Subarna shares his applause. Izeani says, I'm very excited to be here. A lot to learn today. It's coming from Anambra State, Nigeria. Joyce Murithi says, this is awesome to see the movement get to this point. And Abebe Sources has asked if the session has started already. So Abebe, please check the schedule. That should hopefully work out better for you. Now, here is the recap, actually. Just for those of you who have not yet joined the movement for IA 2030, there are many people who are at Teach to Reach for the very first time. This is what it looked like from the 7th of March until the 17th of June, until today. And these are some of the numbers, some of the outputs, let's say, rather than tangible results. It started with the Ideas Engine. And this is where a number of amazing things happened, or started to happen. The Ideas Engine provides a platform for practitioners to share ideas and practices. And in 2 weeks, you shared almost 1,000 ideas and practices in the Ideas Engine with 62 countries contributing. And because this is about Immunization Agenda 2030, you can see the breakdown here by strategic priorities. We then moved on to situation analysis, analyzing, finding the root cause of your chosen IA 2030 priority challenge. And again, working together, participants from all over the world developed 664 situation analyses. 48 Anglophone countries, 24 Francophone countries, and you focused on COVID-19 vaccination for 47%, almost half of you, reaching zero-dose children, more than 40%, adults and children missing their vaccinations, 40%, disruptions to RI, to routine immunization, 29%, introduction of new vaccines, 17%. Now, when we asked you what's situation analysis about, it's about finding a root cause that is different from what you initially thought or identified as the cause of your IA 2030 challenge. And for the Anglophones, almost half of you found a root cause difference, leading into the Action Plan Hackathon from the 9th to 20th of May, where in 2 weeks you developed more than 1,000 action plans, focused each of them on the strategic priority of IA 2030 and what we call key focus areas. And again, at the top of the list, we're reaching zero-dose children, COVID-19 vaccination, and other areas. You did say that it was going to take longer than 2 weeks or 4 weeks in order to implement those action plans. And that's where we kicked off the launchpad of the Impact Accelerator. We asked you a very simple question. Fine, you developed an action plan. Now, are you ready to take action? And this time, 4,149 of you said that, yes, you're ready to do exactly that. Focusing on 4 pillars: the pledge, which you heard, the measurement, the sharing, and mobilizing. And here we saw very quickly remarkably early successes and lessons learned as movement participants, movement members challenged each other to do better, to go further. Experience sharing sessions led by Charlotte Mbou and François Gass, helping members share experience and sharing their own experiences. And then the IA 2030 twins, not successful for everyone, but when it works, potentially gives you a friend, a buddy, a partner for Immunization Agenda 2030. A lot of mutual aid between members, a measure using an evidence-based value creation network of tracking what value is actually being created through all of this hubbub, all of this activity in digital spaces. And then when we asked you every week, what did the movement change for you? We got thousands of answers, but we want to hear your answers firsthand now. And so I'm going to turn to Charlotte. There are folks in our Zoom studio who have given this some thought, and we gave you a long series of questions. We've boiled them down to 3 for the purpose of this plenary. When and why did you join the movement? That's question 1. The why is the important part. What is your priority challenge, and how has your participation in the movement actually changed you? Charlotte, over to you.
Thank you very much, Reda. I need to be co-host so that I can invite others to unmute themselves, but I'm inviting you right now to raise your hand if you want to tell us why. So Reda, if you can activate, I'm inviting Ahmed Neama, if you're okay. Ahmed, if you're able to unmute yourself. Okay, over to you, and please do start by introducing yourself.
Hello, Charlotte Reza, and hello, my dear colleagues. I am Ahmed Neama. I'm the only participant from Iraq, unfortunately. I joined the movement on March. I applied to participate in the Immunization Agenda 2030 movement to start with the situation analysis module, and then I got the level 1 certificate, and I moved to the Impact Accelerator to take some action, and here I am.
So what's your priority challenge, Ahmed?
My priority challenge is the drop down in child immunization program, especially in Iraq, especially in the past 2 years, due to the pandemic and the vaccine hesitancy, fear of visiting the health centers. So my situation analysis was about it was at district level, about the drop down in annual coverage of the child immunization.
Okay, and
My
Ahmed,
part-
can I ask you, how has your participation in the movement changed you? I know you've prepared responses, you've thought through responses to a number of more detailed questions, but for the sake of time and to hear as many voices, can we skip to question 3? How has your participation in the movement changed you in the most concrete ways possible?
Exactly. To make the long story short, participating in this movement, it's not only about the modules and activities we follow up, the online platforms to learn from, but also to gain more skills and knowledge from experience of other colleagues. In the first session I participated in, I remember, Rida, you mentioned that you are not alone. It was like one of the things that kept in my mind, that we are not alone, even if we are in Iraq or any other countries, that we have colleagues from all around the world working together. So I had twins to each module to discuss our priorities, our daily challenges, and how we can move forward. So it was like a great valuable add to my career, and also I learned by doing. Everything was there on the modules and on the platforms. There is a lot of ideas I learned from, and also I did it during my daily task. Thank you, Rida.
Thank you, Ahmed Yema. All right, Charlotte, I'll put the questions back into the chat for those of you who are in the Zoom studio. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Right now I'm inviting David Beru. David, your mic is already unmuted. Over to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Gold Davis Beru from Nigeria.
We hear you loud and clear, Gold. Please go ahead. Don't forget to introduce yourself. When and why did you join the movement? What's your priority challenge? And how has your participation in the movement changed you? If you can answer just these 3 questions.
Okay. I joined in March when it started. And I'm a medical lab scientist and a public health officer. And joining the movement has been very interesting. Walking through from that March till now, it's been interesting. I've learned so much. And to go to the questions, I've said when I joined, and then my priority challenge was vaccine hesitancy among remote community dwellers, mostly among private health facility users, like all these private maternity homes. And with the priority, that was actually what I developed in my analysis.
Yep.
When we did, and then I followed on. So after the situation analysis, we followed on with the action plan.
Yes.
And
yep.
up to the implementation. And I must say that most of the things we learned, from the ideas engine, I learned a lot. I had a lot of ideas on how some people that have similar challenges, how they handled it, and some ideas also on how to handle the challenge also on my own side. And then with the last one, that's the responsive feedback, it was very useful while implementing the action during the last few weeks that we did. And I must say that the program has been very good, and I saw changes. I saw a lot of people accepting vaccine, and one of the problems they had was query on the safety of the vaccines. So with the knowledge, because during the action, we had a lot of head talks and a lot of teachings. So they have gotten knowledge, and many of them have accepted the vaccines. Many of them have accepted that it's safe for them and are willing to take it. So it's been a good work all through.
All right, thank you, Gold. That's a great first testimonial. Charlotte, I see many hands raised. So for all of the contributors and especially the speakers, please know that we will share with you the mechanism through which you'll be able to share your story. Even if you do not get to speak during this short session, your story will then be shared with all of the more than 12,000 people registered for Teach to Reach 6. Charlotte?
Yes, Reda, we have Dr. Martin Mayen, whose mic is already open. And then after that, for the sake of respecting our rules of fairness and equity, we'll turn towards Dr. Isha Goyal. So, Dr. Martin Mayen, over to you.
Okay, yeah, welcome. Thank you. Welcome, colleagues. And I'm so happy to really be part of the process up to the end of it. It was so difficult in the beginning, but I think it went on very, very smoothly. My name is Dr. Martin Mayen. I'm from Republic of South Sudan. I sit at national level supporting on data and coordination. So I joined the movement on the first day during the launch on March the 7th. And actually, I was hearing about the Immunization Agenda 2030, which I was not so familiar with. What does it mean and how does it help me? But I knew it was something to help improve the coverage, reach children, reduce the outbreaks. And I think that is why I was so motivated, really, when I got a colleague telling me that there is a movement like this. So I think that is why I joined the movement. And actually, the participation helped me to really say, why are we not getting many children being vaccinated in the health facility? So we see that the target population that was supposed to come for fixed sessions within the 5-centimeter radius are not coming. Why? And actually, I think I knew why. And this is what has led me to identify my challenge, why children are not coming to the facility, and which goes around planning within the facility itself and within the county. And one of the missing things which I got was actually the lack of coordination. The facility vaccination is a combination of why we are missing is a combination of missed children, lack of communication, lack of collaboration between the different departments in sharing the information and referring the children from one unit to another. So I think this is the challenge that I took, and I'm happy that by this time, I really know by heart that these are the problems within the facility, especially things to do with the coordination and collaboration and transfer of the children, which is helping in the integration of the services within the facility. Other things are also the private sector, the big number of children going there, but there's no single immunization activity happening in many of them, actually. So I think that is where my challenge was lying. And I think with the challenge that I really discovered, I was able now to learn a lot of things, starting from idea engines up to response feedback, with a lot of which I can call triangle kind of connection. I get Monday, General Assembly, I learn a lot of things. I get during the experience sharing and the problems, identification, and how to get the help from different facilitators and then also myself, when I review the colleagues' inputs and submissions, as I put my input, I also learn a lot of things. How they're doing their things, what are the challenges, how do they turn it around? It helps me also identify some weaknesses which I have to input. And I think through the course of this one, there are a lot of learning that is happening there. And I think this end of this one, when I submitted my work plan, I had a lot of inputs. Actually, like from the beginning, what would be my goal? And I got my goal was so clear from the feedback and from learning and from how people interact with others. The long-term goal, unfortunately, my goal is very long-term, but there are intermediate goals which I was able to achieve. For example, how do we improve the collaboration within the health facilities? And I was able to talk with subnational teams and who are now, we have identified the forums. County review forums where the health facility people come and they will be presenting if they are really doing the coordination or not. This is a new indicator that we've added. and it has now been urging them to be able to do coordination within their facilities to transfer the children from one unit to another. It's actually a benefit across. We have also identified training, IIP training. If possible, other units will also be part of this so that they understand the benefits of transfer of the children across the different units between immunization and the others. The review meeting and also the state level coordination forums. We have also sensitized them, primary healthcare directors, other partners. I'm happy also to announce that we have what we call officers on training. These are the long-term or on-job training officers who have been deployed up to down the counties, and they have very close contact with the health facilities. So they will be providing a hand-on support to the facility people so that the improvement will be noticed, which I'm sure will also happen. So I think this is where I am. And I'm so happy that I've reached this end. And I think Charlotte and Dr. Reda, if you remember very well, I even thought I'm not able to make it. I had a lot of challenges. I was in transit, I was in Rwanda, and I didn't have good network. I didn't know how to access this
and
forum.
you did it. Yeah.
And I got your help, and it was very encouraging. You told me, hold on, we're here to help you. And I benefited from really problem-solving sessions that are being held. So thank you very much. I feel very confident now that I have better experience than ever.
Thank you, Dr. Martin Mayen. There's a lot that you shared in there in terms of both your activities and also what you got from the movement and the connection between the two. But I would urge members of the movement to be concise and focused so that we can hear as many voices as we can. Never fear, though, if you were hoping to speak and you have not had the chance yet, you will have your story shared with all members of Teach to Reach. Isha Goyal, I see Charlotte has unmuted you, so I'm guessing that you will be the final speaker to answer the 3 questions about your experience of the Movement for Immunization Agenda 2030. Don't forget to introduce yourself and please get to the point.
Thank you, Reda. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Isha Goel. I work as surveillance medical officer in the state of Uttar Pradesh in India, which is the most populous state in India. And I have joined the movement because in my work profile, I work a lot in the immunization. And there are so many challenges in my district which I have to overcome. That's why I joined the movement. And my priority challenge was to reduce the dropout rate from birth dose of BCG to the measles first dose, that is MCV first, which is given at the age of 9 months. Initially, before joining this movement, I had the data at the district level that what is the dropout rate of the district and what are the challenges at the district level. But with the help of this movement, as I move forward and develop plan step by step, like from the ideas engine to the situation analysis to the action plan, then I got to know that I have to work step by step and set a goal which is achievable and which should be more specific, which I didn't do before participation of this movement. After I participated in this movement, I become more specific. I set a specific goal and developed action plan according to that. And I am very happy that I'm moving forward step by step. Like I have completed my first action, which I have to be taken in the dealing with this challenge. First step I have developed, was the finding the villages and sub-centers which have the highest dropout rate, that is below the district level. So I am now able to find out the deep root cause of the dropout rate in village level, and by this action I am able to take village specific action, which is helping me a lot. So by the help of this movement, I am able to be very specific and working according to the steps which I am taking day by day. So this is a movement which helped me a lot in this. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for this story, Dr. Isha Goyal. We're reaching the end of this session. We know it feels short, but every time we ask you, What's the biggest challenge? That's not immunization, you say, it's time. Time is the most precious resource. That is why we keep these sessions short. But every person who is invited to speak in this Zoom studio, your story will be shared out right after this Teach to Reach. We have 5 minutes remaining, and one key step is to actually share with you what will be the next stage of the movement for Immunization Agenda 2030. So you may be wondering, if the first full learning cycle finishes today, of course there will be the certification to recognize and honor those who really made that commitment and were able to stick to it throughout the preceding 16 weeks. But I will give you a very simple answer to this question, is that you will be the ones, as members of the movement, as movement founders, for those of you who started on the 7th of March, we will work with you to co-create, co-design, think through together with you, because this movement makes no sense without you. And this movement is about you as immunization and other primary healthcare professionals, leading the way, making the difference to actually accelerate progress towards the goals of Immunization Agenda 2030. So even if you are sitting alone in front of your computer screen or your phone, I'd like you to give yourselves a big round of applause to really recognize that the next stage of the movement is going to be determined by you. And after 16 weeks, we know who the leaders are. We know who will be there, who will go above and beyond your daily work, your daily duties, in order to contribute to the movement. We know who has made significant progress, who wants to make progress, who has the intrinsic motivation, and will be looking to you as the leaders for